Next up on Benham TV, we've got a really special item, product number 400-415. It is Winston Churchill. It's a signature, it's framed, and it's mounted.
Yeah, so Winston Churchill is without doubt far and away the most sought after and the most highly collectible of any Prime Minister ever.
Really? Okay.
Really is massive.
And why is that?
Well, I think it's because of all what he achieved.
Yeah.
He's in a world of politics, the whole world, the global world. He's considered one of the most important politicians ever.
Well, I think
he's such a charismatic sort of person.
Wasn't there a poll done by the BBC, which back in 2002, I think it was, that said he was the greatest Briton?
Yeah, there's a lot of people wouldn't argue with that, And what I should say about this is that photograph there that you see of Winston Churchill, I'm pretty certain that's actually a photograph of him in the Cabinet Office.
It's a really iconic
it's an
picture,
official
isn't
photograph.
it?
I'm sure he's in the Cabinet Office. And what you've got, so you've got the photograph there, and then underneath you've got a personal signature, hand sign of Winston Churchill. Now, probably because this was done a while ago, that was probably cut from a letter or a document, and it's been mounted, but it is an original, genuine signature.
So not a copy, it's an original.
No, he's actually signed that by hand. And remember, when you buy these sort of rare collectibles from Benham, you do get a certificate of authenticity,
which we have,
which is imperative to keep. Yeah, and you'll get a lifetime guarantee. It's not like buying them blind on the internet. You don't really know. How do you know? With an item like this, you should always say to the person selling it, how can you prove to me that that's real? That's what Benham do. They take those worries away. So it is buying something, a piece of history, extremely rare, and at that price, in my opinion, very, very, very affordable.
So would you sort of advise everyone, if they do purchase something like this, to make sure they keep that certificate safe?
Without doubt, especially with something like this, because, you can say to people, where do you buy it? What's the background? You can see. And once they'll know that, somebody like Benham and the certificate, that the certificate and the provenance generally can add 20 to 25% to the value.
Oh, wow. Okay.
It can make that much difference. And as I say, there's so many pretend autographs out there now. To have something that's genuine like this is immense. An interesting point on this, I know we're moving on a bit, I'm rabbiting, but an interesting point, if this was done and put together now, they would probably, and they had that letter, they would probably keep the full letter with it. Whereas
why not? Yeah.
But what happened at this period, people wanted the signature, picture and a signature. Now, if I had that and I owned it, I would have the picture of him with the full letter. But it's how the tones, the collecting trend has changed a little bit. But whatever way you get it, that is highly, highly desirable and a true piece of English memorabilia.
Absolutely. And he was so iconic. I mean, Prime Minister twice, from 1940 through to 45, also 51 to 55. Why do you think, for someone who is collecting, this Winston Churchill is so special? Why is he so iconic?
Well, you'll get companies who ask, I've had several over the years, who want to buy something of Winston Churchill to put as an inspirational piece in a drawing room or a ballroom. And you can buy a replica, but to actually have something that's genuine is sort of item that holds pride of place in an English institution. If you go to a top insurance company in the city or somewhere like that, if you go to one or two of the top restaurants in London, they've got something of Churchill in a prominent place. He holds that esteem, that power, that respect. And anyone who's interested in English heritage or history or politics, he has to be in your collection.
It's just brilliant. And of course, he has just about sort of films. He's been depicted over 30 times in films.
I know, it's amazing, isn't it? And
that's how iconic he is.
He is. I know, it's phenomenal. Also, down in Chartwell near Westerham in Kent, where he lives, there's a statue there.
Of course.
I think there's also one in Westminster, isn't there? But he is so popular and so rare.
So this was product number then. It was 400-415. It doesn't need an introduction, but Winston Churchill there. His signature, it's framed, it's mounted, and there's £1,995. And postage and packaging is free. So do not miss out on this. It is absolutely incredible, not to be missed.